Hey guys, I am Andy and this is Jeremy, and it is Whiteboard Wednesday, where we unpack information that helps your church. As always, if you can please like and share this video so we can continue doing content like this every single week. So today we are going to be talking about domain names. What to do, what are they, what not to do with them. So first and foremost, what is a domain name, Jeremy?
Hey Andy, thanks for having me on Whiteboard Wednesday. Excited to talk about domain names today. So guys, most of you are familiar with the term domain, but may not exactly, kind of know what it is, but not exactly sure. Well, very simply, a domain name is your address on the internet. So kind of think of it as your, if you have a house or an apartment, you have a number as a house number, an apartment number. People know where to find you.
At least we hope you do.
Yeah, we hope you do. So they can put in your address on their phone and boom, they can get right to it. Well, that's really what a domain name is. It's your spot. It's your parcel of ground on the internet. And so a domain is basically, it's your house number. That's your address. That's how people can find you. So
perfect.
That's basically what it is.
Easy enough. I like that. So Jeremy, we know what it is. Why do I need one? Or why does my church need one? Or why?
Yeah, well, basically you need a domain so your content can be found on the internet. It seems oversimplistic, but just got to throw that out there as we lay the foundation for it. You got to have a domain so people can find out where your website is. Otherwise, there'd be no way to navigate to it. So just like you can't say, well, I live on such and such a street, good luck finding my house. Yeah. No, you can't do that on the web either. You got to have a domain so people can find your website. So basically, that's why you need to have one.
Okay, well, so we know what they are, why I need one. Now, where do I get one?
Yeah, so where can I get a domain name? There are hundreds of what are called registrars, and basically a registrar is that this is a company you can go to register a domain name. So a domain name is something you're going to register at one time, and you're going to maintain that registration. Usually every 12 months, you can buy up to a number of years at a time. But this registrar is they're going to basically reserve that domain name for you and your organization in the worldwide database. And so you basically lay claim to that domain name, and you're going to choose a registrar to provide that service for you. And guys, I just want to say this: use a reputable domain registrar. So just because they advertise the lowest, this crazy low price, it's not always bad, but just make sure they're reputable. Some of the more reputable domain registrars would be like GoDaddy.com. That's a really popular one. NetworkSolutions.com. Something like that. Someone like that, 1&1. Those are domain registrars that you can count on. Don't go out and there use something like, $4cheaphosting.com and register your domain name. You may never see it again. So just be really careful with that. Use a domain registrar that, Google it, check the reviews, make sure that they're reputable, and go there and go ahead and purchase your domain. And I would say also this, you don't want to pay more than, if you're paying more than $20 or so for the domain name, you're probably overpaying. So some of that may depend on what the domain is, but generally speaking, about $20 or so is what you want to pay for a domain.
Okay. So don't put your credit card into shady websites, right?
Right. ShadyWebsites.com is a bad registrar, so avoid that one.
All right, perfect. Well, now that we know what those are, so let's get to some Mythbusters about domain names. I know there's just some things that you may think like that you know about domains, but they're wrong. And so
sure. Can
you share some of those with us?
Yeah, let's look at the first one, Andy. The more domains I own, the more visible my site will be. Oh, no, it's not right. So some people think that, hey, if I register the .com, the .org, if I register, First Baptist Church,
FBC,
yeah,
First Baptist C.
Right. If all the different variations of the domain, then I'm gonna be more visible on the internet. I have a friend who has 27 domains, and like every year he adds on more. I think he collects them. I think it's like a hobby. But there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not going to earn you any more visibility on the web. So if anything, it might add a little. It can help you to maybe lock down some domains that you would not want someone else to register. But really, it's not going to help you be more visible on the web. It's not, the search engines aren't going to give you some sort of promotion because you own 75 domain names. So basically,
it might be a little expensive.
Yeah,
too,
you want to get one good one and then just run with that one and make sure it's great. So that would be probably maybe the first myth that people would would throw out there, but it's really not true. So let's look at the second one. My domain has to end in .com to be significant. Oh, no, it doesn't, guys. And so, hey, as long as the internet's been around, the .com has been, people have been registering .coms forever. So it's certainly the most popular, but guys, most of the .coms are gone, especially the most common ones. So if we have to have a .com, we're probably in trouble. Some of us do, and we have some of them, but hey, it doesn't have to end in .com. Now that 3-digit extension, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's more, but that's basically called a TLD. It stands for top level domain, and that extension after the dot, that they basically play. They do all do the same thing. Some of them mean a little bit different things. The .net is usually like would stand for like a tech company, something like that. .info stands for information. The .org would typically be for like an organization, maybe a nonprofit. There's also some newer ones such as .church, .co, which stands for company. And these are all valid. These are all good, and they can do fine for your church or for your organization. So you don't have to end in .com. One of these other ones can do just as good of a job. The .com's a little more familiar, but the other ones will do just fine. So.
I know some places that need to have a .com, so they end up going with these addresses that are super long, and you're trying to read these out to people, and it's like, oh, go to this, and like it's like 20 letters, and you kind of it's hard to remember that.
It really is, and so I just want to jump in there for just one more minute and say this, guys. When you're choosing a domain name, keep it short and make sure it's easy to spell. All right, so. Just because you know how to spell Tallahassee doesn't mean everyone else does. Does it have 2 L's or 2 S's or 2 E's or I'm so confused. And so you tell someone, I'm communitychurchtallahassee.com, and they just kind of freeze up because they have no idea how to spell it. So be careful about that. Just because people in your area know how to spell it, or it doesn't mean that everyone will. So you might want to you definitely have to be strategic in the domain name you choose. Keep it as short as possible. And make sure that it's simple to spell. People can get it right. So let's look at the third one as we get toward the end here. Another myth. Hey, as long as my website is up, my domain is safe. Oh no, guys, look. Be sure. I can't tell you how many times we've been doing websites for quite a few years, Andy, and so often it'll come times we'll do a website for someone, and it'll come time to put their website live. And they have no idea who owns their domain name. They don't know how to log into it. They don't know when it expires. And it's just, they know their website's up and they're just not thinking about it. So let me encourage you guys that know where your domain name is registered. Know who has it. Hide that password and that login information somewhere. Be able to access that thing because it's important. When your website goes down, that's not the time to start hunting for it, and trying to figure it out.
Too late, man,
right. And 2 weeks later, you're still, you still have no idea where it is, and your website's been down. It can cause a big mess. So know where your domain is and be able to access that thing whenever you want to. So, hey, let's look at the fourth one. A myth: I should respond to every domain letter I get in the mail. Okay, guys, how many of you have seen something like this? So we get these letters all the time, and this is from a company called IDNS, and usually it has some sort of a scary line in it. I highlighted this one. It says, "Failure to renew your domain name by expiration date may result in a loss of your online identity." No! Yeah, emergency. So, guys, we get letters like this all the time, and here's what happens is these companies they'll search the public registry, and they'll find your mailing address that's associated with your domain, and they'll do these mass mailings, and they'll send these letters, usually with some sort of scary verbiage that says, hey, something bad's going to happen unless you send us money. And basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to transfer the domain to them, but they're using the tactic like scare tactics. So you're going to sign this and put in your credit card and mail it into them. And basically, without knowing it, what you're doing is you're saying, hey, you have permission to take my domain name over. And then usually they're going to charge, like this particular company is charging $45 per domain, which is way too much. You shouldn't pay that much. Remember I said previously about $20 is the threshold there. So guys, the best thing to do with these is just avoid them altogether. Now, you can get private registration with your registrar where basically your information is not available to the public. You can do that, or you can just know where your domain is and then just avoid those.
Throw it in the shredder.
Yeah, just shred those letters. You don't need them. Know where your domain is. Know that it's safe, and sleep well at night.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for just sharing these tips, busting some of these myths for us.
Yeah.
We hope that this was helpful to you guys. If you do have any questions about domains or anything like that, comment below. Let us know. We'd love to help out. And please, please like and share this video if this was helpful to you. And hopefully if it wasn't as well, I mean, if you already knew this, please like and share still. This was Whiteboard Wednesday, and we will see you guys next week.